And did you want, there we go. So again, I want to welcome everyone. Thanks for joining today. My name is Susan Payne, and I am a member of our board of directors. I'm an education specialist at the Oregon Department of Education and a member of our Oregon Open Learning team. This is my second year on our board, and this is our first community meeting of the year. So we're excited to have you all here. The purpose of these meetings is both to share information as well as to gather input and feedback. And we use Mentimeter in order to do that. So if you haven't already or haven't used it before, there's a few different ways that you can join the Mentimeter. You can use the QR code on the screen. It sometimes is easier if you want to use a separate browser or a different device. You can do it pretty easily on your phone or a tablet. You can also use go to menti.com and use the code, which is listed up there on the slide in two different places. And then I'm also going to put a direct link in the chat that you can use to join the Mentimeter. And we'll just give folks a few minutes there to join. I can't tell if people have joined since I put the link in the chat, so I'm just going to put it in the chat one more time. And Brianna, is that number down at the bottom how many people are joined in the Mentimeter?
That number down at the bottom is the number of folks who have clicked like on their screen. So let's do it that way. If you've joined the Mentimeter, can you hit that like button so that we know? There we go. All right. I see the numbers rolling in. It looks like people have joined. So I'll move us to the next slide.
Okay, awesome. All right. So yeah, our first interactive question is, where are you joining us from today? All right, we've got folks, I think that's Arizona. We've got folks joining us from the States, it looks like, all across the USA. That goes really quickly, moving everything around. Ah, someone from Buenos Aires. Well, welcome. Hi, Fernando. Great to see you today. All right. It's very exciting to see some folks from all over. Montana, Prescott, Arizona. Okay, we're going to move to what we're going to cover in today's meeting. So we are going to share hopefully a fun little video so you can meet the members of our board of directors. There's a few other board members on the call today, so they'll introduce themselves as we go along. We're going to share some updates and get input about this year's conference. We're going to share information about how to volunteer if you're interested in that opportunity. And then we'll give some updates about next year's conference and gather some input on that. And that's the plan for our meeting. We'll share some ways that you can stay in touch. All right, so we'll start with the video.
Hello everyone, I'm Sneh Bansal from India. If you ask me what is an open education, for me, open education is lifelong learning, education for all, and promoting collaboration. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Buck and I'm the Director of Open Educational Resources at Oregon State University. And to me, open means an equitable and equal education for everybody.
Hello, my name is Brandon Carson, Learning Technology Specialist and part-time professor at Durham College and soon to be Ed.D. student at Ontario Tech University. To me, open education is breaking down barriers and making education available to everybody.
Hello, my name is Dr. Tandra Connerly, and open education means to me the ability to communicate and collaborate freely. Thank you.
My name is Rachel Meisner. I'm the Director of Education and Engagement for Active Class and a history instructor for the Colorado Community College system. To me, open education means equitable, accessible, and affordable education for all.
Hi, I'm Simon Omondi. To me, open education means education beyond borders, education that is inclusive, education that leaves no one behind. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Alita Partasadarso, and I work at Ontario Tech University in Canada. My search for open resources led me to a rapidly growing community of educators in OpenEd that have similar goals for our students.
Hi, my name is Susan Payne, and I'm a K-12 education specialist at the Oregon Department of Education and a member of our Oregon Open Learning team. My Open Education Why centers on equity, increased agency for teachers and students, and building collective efficacy.
I'm Judith Sebesta, principal at Sebesta Education Consulting. To me, open education means that knowledge can, and maybe more importantly should, be free.
Well, that was my first time seeing that. That was fun. So I'm going to pass it to Stephanie, and she's going to move us along.
There we go. Unmute always helps. Hi, I'm Stephanie Buck. I'm the Director of Open Educational Resources. I'm at Oregon State University. And I'm pleased to announce that our conference theme for this year is innovation and praxis. So we're looking at both sides of the coin of open education, both the theory as well as the implementation. And we're also celebrating 20 years of this conference. So that's why we have building on 20 years of community as our sub-theme. So we're really excited about this theme. We hope that you are too. And our conference, of course, is going to be on November 7th through the 9th in 2023, and it will be a virtual conference. And you will be hearing more from us very soon about call for proposals and registration and all kinds of other good stuff. But for now, innovation and praxis, that's the theme for the conference. Next slide, please. So given this year's theme of innovation and praxis, we would love to find out if any of you have any suggestions for keynote speakers that you would like to see. And you can name names, or you can tell us the kind of person that you'd like to see as a keynote speaker. We're open to any and all suggestions. Nothing is ignored. Really enjoyed the student panel last year. We have had a number of folks who have said that they really enjoyed the student panel, and so hopefully that'll be something that we can continue on. Okay, we've got the nomination of Robin DeRosa. She is of course a great speaker and has been doing a lot of work in open education, so that she'd be a great addition to our conference program, I'm sure. +1 for student panelists. Okay. Yeah, the student panel seems to have really gone over well. So there are more students, more POC. Okay. Global South representatives. All right, that sounds like a plan. Let's make it more international. Somebody who uses praxis frequently in their everyday conversation. Okay, we're gonna have to put that onto the call for proposals there. Speakers to give an international perspective, more best practices. Rajiv, of course, yes, he always comes up. We all know he's a great speaker. Cable Green. And I see that in the chat, folks like Linda Cox. Oops, the chat just disappeared on me. Hang on just a sec. Mahabali, so there's a whole bunch of people. Sarah Lambert, Mahabali International, and also Critical Approach. Yes, so got some great suggestions coming in. And if you don't have one right now, that's okay. I believe that we leave this open for a little bit. So if you've got names that come up later, let us know. We're always looking for ideas. If it's not for this year, it'll be for next year. Ah, I see some yeses for Sarah Lambert. Someone who can talk about AI. Oh, big topic. Yes, that would be an exciting keynote speaker. Chat GPT. Yeah, we could have the Chat GPT. There we go. That'll be our keynote speaker. We'll just put questions to Chat GPT and see what happens. Just kidding. Okay. Well, thank you so much for those thoughts. We will take all of that into consideration. That's very, very helpful. And let's go ahead and move on to the next slide, which is, don't forget that you can participate more frequently and more directly in the conference by volunteering. And you can volunteer at the URL that's on the screen, which Susan just dropped into the chat. There's a little form for you to fill in. We're always looking for people to help us. One of the big things that we do is, of course, review of conference proposals. So that's going to be something where we're going to be looking for volunteers. It's always really fun to read those conference proposals, provide feedback on those. So please go ahead and fill that form in as soon as possible. And so how can you check if you've already filled out the form? Brianna, do you know, is there a...
Sorry, can you repeat the question? How can you
The
check if
question
you've
was,
already-
how can you check if you've already filled out the form?
Oh, that's a great question. You know what? I don't think that we set up confirmation receipts, but if you filled it out, we've received it. We have not contacted folks yet. We're planning to do that towards the end of this week, early next week. So keep an eye on your inbox. If you're not sure if you filled it out, you can just fill it out again. It won't it won't cause any harm if you fill it out twice.
Yeah, it won't break the system. So feel free to refill it out if you can't recall. All right, great. Well, with that, I'm going to pass it on to Judith, who's going to talk about OpenEd24.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. Yes, as you saw in the video, I am Judith Sebesta, and I am honored to serve as a first-year board member for the OpenEd conference. And I just want to say how gratifying it is to see everybody here. As you well know, I think this is a very community-driven event. And so your participation in these processes is very important to us. And I just want to give a quick shout out also to Brianna O'Neill for her amazing organizational skills and helping to manage the organization and implementation of this conference. And a thank you to Spark, the organization for which she works. And they just are so, just very, very important to keeping this conference going. So thank you so much. And thanks to all of you. So we already are looking forward and starting to plan for OpenEd24, believe it or not. And we are exploring holding a hybrid event. So it would be an event that would have both in-person and online options for the community. So we wanted to solicit some feedback from the community regarding this event as we are beginning to plan it. And so we have a few questions we would like to pose to you about OpenEd24. And the first one we would like to ask is, how would you participate in a hybrid conference, virtually or in person? And I know there can be factors that can be a kind of depends. So I'd be interested to hear maybe what some of those factors might be in the chat. Veronica, thank you. You've already contributed one. Depends on the location. I think that's a really good point, Veronica. So far we've got overwhelmingly 88% virtually, but let's give some time for others to give their opinion on this. And please, again, in the chat, please just feel free. We've got a shout out for virtually too. It would depend on the cost of travel. So location and the cost, where it would be and how much it would cost to travel to that location. I wish there was a both option, and we really are considering having both. So Joanne, hopefully that will be an option for folks. Also depends on whether Nicole is going to feature her infamous Jokes for Drinks ticket shindig. And I can neither confirm nor deny, Veronica, whether or not that will be happening. I appreciate the humor there. Well, you might be deadly serious about that, but we'll just have to see what we can do. So here we're still overwhelmingly majority virtual and 18% in person. So just few more seconds on this one, and then let's move to the next question. Well, this is giving us some information that the board is going to have to seriously consider, I think. Why don't we go ahead and move to the next question? A couple of questions are similar. For those of you, the 17% that said that they would prefer an in-person event if you think you would attend it, what would you like to see at OpenEd24? And I think one thing we're really getting at here is what could be a unique experience that capitalizes on an in-person conference attendance or face-to-face conference attendance. Regional hubs, everyone meets at Regina's new house. Okay, that's great. So regional hubs, perhaps not just having one in-person location, but having regional locations to make costs lower, travel easier, possibly. Advocacy workshops and training, how to advocate for open education, hands-on activities, opportunities to network with others outside of sessions. These are great. And please feel free to add here or in the chat if you feel more comfortable that way. +1 for networking. We also have mentorship, always very important, I think, in our field, our burgeoning, or it's beyond burgeoning now, field. Mentorship. Discussions about why you don't like virtual. What an interesting comment. I think that makes a lot of sense. And then perhaps there could be discussions about what could be done to improve virtual opportunities if you don't like those virtual opportunities. Discussions about why you're attending in person versus why you might have attended virtual, or maybe you'll attend both. Regionally organized mini conferences, Shanta, thank you so much. That's a really good point. +1 for regional hubs, dedicated funds, social time. This is great. Maybe about 30 more seconds on this, and then we'll move to the next question. Not applicable. I assume that's because someone would not attend in person for whatever reasons, maybe one that has been mentioned. Social time, regional hubs, discussion of why attendees would not attend. Virtual funding opportunities, information about funding opportunities, always a hot topic. Okay, why don't we go ahead and move to the next question, Brianna, if that's okay. Focus not only on higher education. I just saw that one. That's, I believe the board is committed to ensuring that we are providing opportunities to present on and learn about topics that include K through 12, that include professional continuing education, but we appreciate that. For those of you who are planning to attend virtually, what would you like to see at OpenEd24? What could make that a better, more effective and productive experience for you? Virtual networking. Networking obviously is important to both regional mini conferences, okay, be they virtual, be they in person, or both. The format of opening and closing activities is really lovely. Oh, okay, nice. Games, okay, we have a vote for games. Those can be good for a variety of reasons. Theories and practices. +1 on networking. Sessions available to a variety of time zones. I think that we all know that one of the challenges that organizing a global conference presents is the difference in time zones, but there are so many opportunities that outweigh those. I think we all can agree on, but sometimes it does require, like what we've done today with our community meetings, as we've had 2 that are, spread across this one day, that I hope have provided the opportunity for as much participation in this community meeting as possible. So the board will be keeping that in mind as we're planning this event. Global South participation, again, Global South participation. Understanding grant and funding landscape. We're seeing some recurring themes here, regardless of whether it's in person or virtual. And then +1 on the time zones again. Yes, we're having recordings available. That's important, isn't it? Capturing the sessions for those who might not be able to attend. Accessibility and universal design for learning discussion. Very important topic. Virtual networking. Important again. I mean, one thing that we've seen a couple of times here is that regardless of in-person or virtual, that it could be productive to have opportunities for regional networking and sharing of stories and information within that region. And then I think, Brianna, do we have one more question? Am I right? Yes. Then the timing of the conference. So the conference has historically been held and will again this year be held in the fall. In future years, would you prefer the Open Ed conference be held in the fall or the spring, or do you have no preference? And while you're responding to that, Leslie, UDL HE Higher Ed Conference will be this October online. If you're interested, do you have a link by any chance to that, Leslie? It's not your responsibility, but by chance if you do. And I made sure we didn't overlap this year. Oh, good for you. I know we appreciate it. It's always difficult. It's the beauty of our burgeoning field is that we have so many opportunities now to meet, to discuss, to share, but that makes it more complicated whenever we're scheduling these events. Thanks for pointing that out, Leslie. I appreciate it. So we've got 63% that have no preference, smaller percentage for the fall, and 25% for the spring. The Digicon link. Thank you so much, Leslie. I appreciate that. So just about 15 more seconds here. Anybody want to weigh in? Went up to 25% was spring, 13% fall. So there's overwhelming or considerable majority that say no preference. So the board will take this into consideration as we're considering, there's obviously some organizational challenges, potentially limitations, but also opportunities in changing the timeline of the conference. But this will help us as we make our decision. Brianna, I think that's the last of the questions, correct?
I believe so. I think we're passing it over to Simon to close us out.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Yes, thank you thank you, Judith, for that. My name is Simon Omondi. I'm from Kenya, the Global South. This is my first time as a board member in this Open Education Conference, and it's a pleasure to meet every one of you. Today, just to close, we're looking forward to hearing about how you expect to receive updates. Would you like them by websites, by social media, by newsletters? Yes, I can see e-newsletter is the highest, taking the highest score. Social media, yes, that talks about Twitter, Facebook, and others. Community meetings. I see. Yeah, we get that. Great. Yes, there are a lot of announcements that are due, and it's important to be updated all the time. And really appreciate your input, your information that you can be giving us, so that we can capture them as well on the newsletters. So e-newsletter has the highest score. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Okay. We want to thank all of you for taking time to participate in this meeting today. And we really value your perspectives. We value your contribution in ideas and your knowledge so that we can make this conference a success. We look forward to getting more information from you in due time. And feel free to contact us through our links or social media handles that will be shown next on the slide. Always remember to use the hashtag to get updates on the latest information that we have. Without much ado, and I thank you once again for joining and wish you a great OpenEd week. Thank you.
All right, I believe that closes us out for today. Thank you everyone for attending. Your input is incredibly valuable and we appreciate your time.